What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Xialing and the Death Dealer from the Shang-Chi movie. Also, we're going to be talking about the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure and a couple of cool things that you can do with that figure. So stay tuned for this episode. All right, guys, the first figure I want to get into today is Death Dealer, man. And for those of you that don't know who Death Dealer is, he's been around for a while. He's actually an old character in the comic books and worked for MI6, but of course he had some issues with killing, and his killing was very brutal. So MI6 decided to go after him, where he returned to Fu Manchu because he was working for Fu Manchu, and that was a big deal because when he did return, he almost got captured by MI6 and he lost the battle to Shang-Chi. So when he returned, Fu Manchu gave him, of course, the name Death Dealer. And I want to go ahead and just show off this real cool face covering. Love what they did with the head sculpt, and you get that nice vibe to the face covering, that royal blue, and then you get some of that black lining on the very top there. You get the all-white faceplate with, of course, a little bit of red marks there, and you get the black around the eyes, which extend all the way up into the face mask. And of course, it extends a bit down into that black lining there. So just want to go ahead and show this really cool ninja look to Death Dealer. And on the very top, you get that red band there to tie up the hair into that ponytail. So just want to go ahead and show that, as well as the weapons. He comes with two interchangeable hands. I went ahead and took the liberty of putting the weapons on the hands, or the hands that come with the weapons, because you can't detach the weapons. But these are like throwing darts. They look like daggers, but they're throwing darts. And you get a little bit of that red band there around the gloves. If you notice, you get a little bit of that red tie, and you get another red tie over here as well. One thing that I like about the throwing dart that you see there, he's holding one, but then the other hand comes with the actual physical throwing of the darts, and you get a really cool look at the hand there with that metal plate and a little bit more of that metal armor on the forearm. So really like what they did with this character. I like the fact that the uniform, you get to see a little bit more of that armor in the chest piece there. There you see on the inside of the chest piece, looks like some metal armor. And you get a little bit more of that metal armor on the knee padding. So love what they did with that silver there. And of course, the black boots. And the bulk of the uniform that he is wearing is a royal blue color, and it has almost like a goldish orange trimming that you see there that extends all the way down there. And then on the belt that we're looking at here has that silver in the center and on the sides. So really like what they did with this character. One thing that I also noticed is the back of the boots here. You get kind of like a really cool logo there in red. So just want to go ahead and show that as well. And then, of course, if we're turning this figure around, you get a couple more weapons in the back portion there. More of those throwing darts. And I really enjoy what they did with this cool figure. Very nice ninja look. Of course, I'm probably gonna go ahead and order a couple of ninjas to have like him kind of like have his own group. I'll probably order a couple of the articulated icons, probably some blue ninjas or some gray ninjas, and just have him with those ninjas so he can have kind of like his own army and put him up against Shang-Chi, so I can give it kind of like that cool look of fighting and martial arts. So really nice figure, and I like what they did as well. Of course, forgot to mention that he does have two open hands here. So just wanted to go ahead and show the fact that he has two open hands, and he does come with the left arm to the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure that we're looking at there. But definitely a really neat figure, and this is from the Shang-Chi movie and the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure wave. Alright guys, so the next character I want to talk about is Xialing. This is the sister to Shang-Chi. So let's go ahead and get into this character. Obviously, Xialing decides to join her brother on the mission to take down the 10 rings. But if you guys can see, really like what they did with the head sculpt. There you see the hair coming down on that forehead there. And of course, you see a little bit more of that really neat uniform there, that white with a really cool pattern of black lining there. Like what they did with that uniform. And then of course you get more of that black lining on the sides there. The bulk of the uniform is white and black, as you guys can tell. The pants are black and the boots are black as well. Just wanted to go ahead and show that. And then does come with a lot of interchangeable hands. One thing that I noticed is, of course, she has that flat out hand there. And I went ahead and took the liberty of putting an open or a semi-open holding hand that you see there to hold that really cool rope there. And of course, you can tell the handle is red. And you get that really cool end there. That sharp end is red as well. So really like what they did with the rope. And another thing that I noticed is that the interchangeable hands, there's a couple. Obviously, there's 6 hands, 2 that's on her right now, and the 4 hands that are here. These look like 2 holding hands. And then, of course, she has that flat open hand and a closed fist, okay? So there you see the 2. There's obviously 2 open hands. One that I showed you and one that's on her. And then, of course, another holding hand that you see there. Like what they did, of course, the hair is flat there, as you can tell. Black hair. And then, of course, you get a little bit more of that cool black lining on the back of the white shirt. So love what they did with this uniform. And in the sleeves there, you get a lot more of that black lining. So really like the fact that they did the sister to Shang-Chi. And here she comes with the massive torso of Mr. Hyde. So just wanted to go ahead and show that. And this is Xialing from the Shang-Chi movie and the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure wave. All right, guys, and the last figure I want to show off is, of course, the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure. And this figure is massive. Of course, the head sculpt is pretty epic, like the fact that they gave it that Mr. Hyde head sculpt. And you see, of course, the green eyes and him clenching his teeth. Then you get kind of like that caveman look to Mr. Hyde. Of course, you get that green top hat. And you get that burgundy bow tie with, of course, the hair on the sides there of the head sculpt. Of course, you get that hairy, bearded look kind of on the sides there. And just really epic. Love the mean look to Mr. Hyde. And, of course, you get a little bit more of that brown in the hair there. And the really cool suited Mr. Hyde, of course, you can tell, really nice suit there. Of course, you have the blazer and you have the vest on the inside with the white shirt. And then, of course, the full suit is mainly green and does come with a very cool cane there. Of course, you see that wooden handle and the black on that cane. And just like the fact the head sculpt is very caveman-like, one thing that I wanted to show off and I wanted to go ahead and mention is that you could do so many things with these different suited Build-A-Figures. You know, you have the Kingpin Build-A-Figure. Of course, you can interchange the Venom head sculpt and the hands if you wanted to go ahead and give Venom a suited look as well. As you guys can see here, the Shadow King is definitely another character that you can create and give that suited look. Of course, there you have that Shadow King head sculpt. And of course, I went ahead and took the liberty of taking my Monster Venom hands that you see on this Monster Venom and placing them on the Shadow King. So just wanted to go ahead and show that off. Of course, I have 2 of these Monster Venom Build-A-Figures, so I went ahead and took the liberty of creating the Shadow King. But you can create so many different looks, especially with these big suited looks to these figures. Obviously, it would have to be a head sculpt that goes with the actual scale, but wanted to go ahead and show you a couple of things that you can do real quick. So let's go ahead and get into some of these things that you can do with these really cool suited looks. Alright guys, so I went ahead and took the liberty of switching up a couple of head sculpts and of course a couple of the hands. And this is what, of course, the Mr. Hyde scale would look like if it had the Venom hands and the Venom head sculpt. Obviously, you would have to do some paint detail just to give that neck the Venom look, but I think it looks pretty cool. I think it looks really neat. The head sculpt is a little bit smaller, could be maybe a little bit larger, just so it can give it more of a bulky look to Venom. But I do think it fits perfectly, and so do the hands. So that is a cool touch to a different look for this scale with the Venom head sculpt and the Monster Venom hands that you see there, as well as this look. This is from the Grey Hulk Build-A-Figure, and as you guys can see, I went ahead and just added the head sculpt and the hands to the Mr. Hyde. The only paint work that you would have to probably do here is that top hat. I would probably paint it that navy blue just to give it a better vibe and a cooler look to that. But nevertheless, these are a couple of the things that you guys can do. If you want to interchange some pieces and you do have these characters, you can definitely do that. So just want to go ahead and show that. And I want to show one last thing that you guys can do with these really cool suited scales. All right, guys, so just wanted to show off one last thing. Of course, with the Grey Hulk scale, I went ahead and took the liberty of placing my deluxe Red Hulk head sculpt there with the interchangeable hands of the Red Hulk. So just wanted to go ahead and show you guys what it would look like if the Red Hulk was in a suit. Of course, the head doesn't fit perfectly in. You would have to do some modifications, but nevertheless, it does look really neat. So just wanted to go ahead and show that off as well. And this is the Mr. Hyde Build-A-Figure, of course, with Death Dealer and Xialing from the Shang-Chi Legends of the Ten Rings, done by Marvel Legends, Hasbro. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed my content, guys. Just wanted to show off a couple of these figures that I used to do some of these modifications, as you guys can see there. So nevertheless, guys, please subscribe, hit that bell for the next notification, and definitely hit us with a like. I'm G Infinite. Peace out, YouTube.